Kia ora folks, Russ Bushman here. Well, made it to my backcountry hut. I'm up at the top here, top of one of these ranges. I'm up here for the next couple of days. I brought a lot of kit along this time. Some of you guys might think that's a bit too much, but actually in reality it's not. Some of my kit items are actually going to stay here in my backcountry hut. So yeah, I made it up the top. It's supposed to be pretty cloudy. Got some westerlies coming, straight westerlies. Apologies for the sloppy filming. I actually forgot to bring my tripod this time. Not much, let's get into it. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, this is my backcountry hut. It's just basically this is it. It's not much to it. It's dry. It's relatively breezy, but yeah, it's dry. It's a good launching point for all my bush activities, because about not even a click over this hill, there's that's the bush line, and it starts going into all the native and secondary generation. So it's actually a good launching point from here, and that's why I'm actually choosing to. But yeah, they've actually set this up. Some of my family members set this up for a backcountry hut. So I would say in the last 10 years, 15 years, they started initially to renovate this, and then so it's all been set up. You know, they had originally put a gas stove here. They're going to have a gas stove here and live off here. Apologies for the cigarette. I do smoke, so you're just going to have to bear in mind. Some of these do some plant ID, because right now, if I can find the plants, it's actually quite a good time to ID a lot of these plants. Now, for those of you who do follow me, if you go into my Google Photos, if you're still using Picasso, you can go through there. It's Rasta's Bushcraft Backcountry, this being the backcountry, over there being the bush. You'll see some of my photos of some of the native plants. Now, some of them I did ID. Yeah, I've got a couple ideas for a couple shelters. That's why I brought it along 300 feet, 300 plus feet, I should say, of paracord. Now, I don't have any rope on me. I did order some, and it's on its way. So, all in all, the kit I was carrying, bear in mind this was bloody heavy carrying it up. Bloody heavy. But all in all, including the bow, including everything, I am carrying 14 to 15 kilos. Bear in mind, a lot of these kit items are actually going to stay here for the future outings. As I said, I'm using this as a backcountry hut, as a launching point towards the bush, because this is closer to the bush than down my old camp. This is what I'm carrying. Now, it's a lot of stuff. Plus over here, this stuff. This is my food for the week, or for the next couple of days. I've got my meth stove. I've got some spare meths. Now, I brought along about 1.5 liters of meths. Now, the meths, the candles, a lot of the stuff is actually staying here. It's going to be staying here. For when I come back the next couple of outings, I always have spare things here. So please bear that in mind. But I've got my metal water bottle. I've got the meth stove. I've got a spare camping pad. I've got a spare billy. Now this is a spare one. This came in a set of 3, and the guy I purchased it off on Trade Me actually gave me another one. So that's handy. I've got my wool gloves. I've got a couple of rubbish bags. I've got my books, native plant ID books. I've got Safety in the Mountains, a handbook for trampers, stalkers, skiers, and mountaineers. Great book, old school book. I've got my haversack with me. That's just basically when I go out on scouts, short scouts. I've got some 100 foot of paracord here. A brand new, not even opened pack of Atwood rope manufacturing 550 paracord, the genuine military stuff. This stuff is fantastic. You can do so much with paracord, and I never actually truly realised the potential paracord to about the last 2 or 3 months. Just having a tutu playing around with it, and it's great. Now this is This is the cheap and nasty paracord. You want to avoid this. Avoid this paracord. I brought it along anyway because it's just good for guy lines and that. It's not really used for structurally anything. It's just for strapping stuff down. I wouldn't use it for any shelters or anything, but it's good for guy lines and your tarp, etc. Got some spare clothes, which is basically my sleeping kit. Some spare socks, etc. Got my headlamp, first aid kit, always. Microfiber towel. Now this stuff is fantastic. This stuff at the most expensive I've seen is $2. This is budget 32 5-starters. These are, well, I was going to do a quick analysis over here. These are great. I'll test for these in so many conditions. What they are is basically, it's like Exacotech waterproof wood pulp type 5-starters. Totally free of kerosene. They're odorless. They only emit smoke at the top of the flame. People use them in charcoal barbecues, open campfires, wood burners. They're waterproof. Got long storage, easy to use, environmentally friendly, non-toxic. But these are actually perfect for emergency tinder. They're actually great because you can crumble these up, strike down one spark, boom, you're away, and that's all you need. And these are only $2. A sleeping bag in here. Got this pack's actually not new. This is actually a used one. I purchased this off a guy who used it for tramping. He initially got it off a guy who was actually in the, I believe it was the British military. So it's got all the tag numbers and all the unit ID on the back. But it's Caramel Jaguar S75. I'm not a big brand guy. I don't really like big brand things. But I love these Caramels. I've got 3 of their packs. They're fantastic. Great packs. Super sturdy. I've got a African Expedition lightweight. It's ultralight. This one's actually more suitable for winter, but I came to test this out. Great harness system, great waist strap system. So that's basically, this will be new to you guys. It's not new to me, but this pack will be new for you guys. The Caramel Jaguar S75. Got my trusty Bose tools. This is similar to the Silky Saw. It's actually cheaper. Very similar. High carbon steel. It's great. It's only $19, including shipping. Got a spare knife. This is my Svekin. I know a lot of you guys out there, more knife guys and that. I'm not, but that's a spare knife. I've got my canteen kit in here. That's my East German. That if you guys have seen my videos will see it. The East German canteen set. Got my tarp in there, got my bivvy. Okay, so I got my bow. It's a PSC Kingfisher 50 pounder. I've got some broadheads. I didn't actually bring this up to hunt. So I'm not up here to hunt. I'm just basically here to scout out. And if I see anything, just shoot it. I know a lot of people be like, oh, you should target practice, but really I need the experience on live things. I've killed game animals and snares before, never actually shot anything live, so if I see something and it has no tags or anything like that, shoot it. So that's the gist of it, and that's pretty rough, but hey, you need the experience. Got my jacket here, my Gamma from last time. It's a great jacket, love that jacket, and it didn't cost me much. And always got to have that drover hat, you know. Got to have that oilskin swag and have a little scout around, see what we can find. There's a couple of creek lines over here. I wouldn't mind trying scouting out for eels. I scouted this. Now I want to try set up a shelter up here. I have a couple ideas for a couple hillside shelters, so I'm going to be doing that. So yeah,